All right, what's up everyone? I think we should be live now. Let me check if everything is all right. Also sharing the stream into our Discord community, and then let's jump into the technical analysis. Also share the stream on X. Wait for a few people to join, and then we'll get into it. There we go. I think this live stream is going to be a quick one, but we'll cover some big topics like Bitcoin, Ethereum, because I think the crypto market is important to discuss now. As you can see on the right, it's a pretty red day. We have been downtrending for pretty much a week now. Yeah, basically a week. Okay, let's go. I want to do the same analysis as I recently am doing with my uploads, so I can cover more coins in a shorter period of time. If anyone has any questions about certain things I draw and certain things I do, or if anyone has a chart request, then I would be happy to take that and draw some scenarios in. Alright, for Bitcoin, as I uploaded my Bitcoin video literally a week ago, I was also on the weekly and the 3-day time frame. I analyzed it, and I also said this big red box, we could expect a higher low in there, because this push towards the upside didn't break us towards clearly new highs. It's just a wick. This is a liquidity hunt, possible market maker signal as well, and we made new lower lows, our high time frame change of character, our order flow switch. There was nothing else we could expect than a lower high for the lower low, and that's what I'm expecting from now on as well. We've created the lower high. Locally, we're also breaking structure. You can see this daily time frame. This made us to a new high. We broke below it, meaning our order flow switched, and we can now expect lower lows and lower highs. I think we can at least expect the move to go to 106k, and we could possibly have some support over there, and that is because from this accumulation here to the left, that's also your point of control, and there's on the lower time frame a demand here. If that zone does fill, then we're gonna go one lower towards around 102k, around 102k and 100k between that. Possible long scenarios are in the chart if price managed to get there. I want to wait for some local confirmation if we could possibly trade towards the upside. Because on the weekly time frame, this is still what brought you higher. So if we manage to hold this low at 100k, we can still expect upside towards new all-time highs. Locally, we are seeing a little bit of a distribution. Well, not a little bit, this is a distribution. So we need to be careful with our longs. That was pretty much Bitcoin. Ethereum, it's not that much of a difference. That is because we also had a macro top here. This is ENA. I was about to say it. This isn't Ethereum. There we go. Ethereum. We also had a macro top on Ethereum while also sweeping your all-time high and then actually making a distribution from there. That's pretty crazy. I mean, we warned the whole Discord community about this, that the crypto market wasn't looking that strong. We were building too much liquidity on the lows, and we were giving distributional signals at the highs. So, that being said, Ethereum is dumping a bit quicker than Bitcoin at the moment, down 6.4% in a day. That is pretty significant. And yeah, from now on, we want to be patient with the price action that will be created here. We need to see some sort of accumulation, basically the same thing we saw over here, but then in this demand area, but then the other way around, of course. That would be for me a scenario to still take longs towards all-time highs on Ethereum. But this isn't great that we SFP'd Ethereum, made the lower high, and we're continuing from there. Even though we could still expect the higher low for the higher high, maybe a high time frame. Locally, we are going to be down until proven otherwise. So we'll see how that develops as well. And there's no point literally zooming into the lower time frame because we're just dumping now. So there's no trade opportunities there. This was the great resistance zone that we have pointed out, a lot of liquidity, and we actually did get a test of that zone and the push towards the downside. It's always great to see. Nix Awaika, what's up, man? Hello, welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. I have not seen your YouTube name before. Can you check Aster and tell your opinions? Yes, of course, brother. I have made 2 videos about Aster. Let's check it out locally though, see what's going on. Because in the last video we have pointed out 2 points of interest, alright? And those 2 point of interest was this pullback that brought you to new highs, and also this left open demand that caused you to break towards new highs over here. This was my favorite zone to look for longs, and it still is. We have, because we front ran this demand here that caused us to break towards new highs, this is relevant to start testing back. The thing is, everyone thinks we're gonna make that higher low towards higher highs from this area, but that makes it also interesting to trade below the lows, test our untested demand, and start trading up from this zone. So I want to wait locally for price to enter this green box, and I want to see something like this. Let me grab an example for you guys. Like here, we're making lower lows, lower highs, and lower lows. You are going to do so until your order flow starts to switch. When does it switch? When you make a higher high, and then we can expect a higher low and a higher high. Something like this. So that is a point of interest I want to watch, and we're actually going in that point of interest right now. So I want to wait local confirmation here that the people who have bought Aster right here pushed price up towards new highs. I don't wait for those people to step into the market here again. Protect the orders that they have bought here because they've pushed price up significantly towards a significant high as well. So you're going to expect some support here. But we want to wait for local confirmations. Okay, what do I like about Aster? Right now, look at all this liquidity we have built up. These are equal highs. This tells me this is not a macro top. This tells me we are going to leave this liquidity on the highs open for later. We're also doing the same right here. We're slowly grinding down, building tons of buy-side liquidity, and that's going to make the move up easier. So all in all, Aster still looks great for potential upside. As long as we can hold this demand here, we can expect our trend to continue. We are leaving our highs open. We're building liquidity on the highs until we have taken enough on the lows, and then we can start trading towards the liquidity that we have just built. On local confirmation, like I've just said. That's pretty much Aster, my brother, Nix Awai. I hope that was clear for you. If not, then let me know. And if it is, then also let me know. I want this demand to get tested. Thanks, no problem, man. And what do you think about WIF in long term? That's a meme coin, right? I think it was, yeah. It was one of the biggest meme coins for a while. Haven't looked at it in so long though. Started a weekly. I mean, this is the last time I've drawn something in there. Let's remove it. Interesting. It's not looking that bad on first sight. So let's start to look at this price action. Let me see if there's any other chart that has um, more price action to the left. It doesn't look like it. Okay, then we're just gonna chart Binance. Okay. Well, if we start to look at the weekly time frame, looking at our market structure, this was the opening price of WIF. We got the little dip and the massive expansion up, creating new highs. So that also means for me, if we can manage to hold literally all-time lows, there is still a possibility that we could trade towards new all-time highs. A lot for that still needs to happen, but high time frame wise, it's definitely a possibility. So if we start to draw in our market structure on this local part, first up, this was the pullback or our last price action before that crazy expansion up. So I want to look for, that's also where you want to look for support. Let's draw in our local trends. We're making lower lows and lower highs until we did not anymore. We have created a higher high. What does that mean? Our order flow has now switched. We have made a change of character in the market. And for this local picture, we can now expect a higher low between these 2 points. We can now expect the trend to make a higher low for a new higher high. Let's see how that looks on a bit of a lower time frame. Where could you possibly bounce from? Well, there are two zones for me. This is one of them, and this is the other one. That also makes this a liquidity point. But we do not have to break this low or hunt the low for in order for us to move up. Keep that in mind. Let me start by drawing this in. And this is one of your point of interest where you want to look for that higher low for the higher high from. So let's go down another time frame. You are against supply here. That's also where we got the reaction from. But the same thing happened with Aster happened on WIF, because we left this high open and we've also made equal highs. What does this tell me? Also building liquidity from here. That tells me price is leaving that open for later. So we are going to return there, in my opinions, if price does what it needs to do. What does price need to do? Well, because we are leaving open our highs and this test wasn't enough for us to create new highs, we can expect price to grab liquidity from the lows. Where's that liquidity at? This was your extreme liquidity and we could have moved up from there. We also got the reaction up, but we failed to break our high time frame structure, so we kept moving down. So for now it's still making lower lows and we can expect lower highs for new lower lows. But we want to draw in our liquidity points because the market is looking for that liquidity. And this wick is a great scenario because it literally just tested it and the market got a massive expansion up from it. So a lot of buyers that are buying right here, all their stop losses, or at least the most stop losses, are going to be below this low right here. That makes it interesting to take out. And maybe we can start moving up from there. We also have a range. This is our swing high point towards swing low. And we are building that liquidity on the highs, which is absolutely great. But now we first want to look for the lows. If we sweep our swing low and we get a reaction back inside and get the scenario like I said, you want that momentum switch, that change of character. If we do get that, then there are definitely possibilities we can trade towards all of this on the highs. So I want to hold support anywhere between 50 cents and 70 cents, basically this area. If you are that strong in your trend, you do not even want to go below this, but you know, always a wick can come below your structure right here without breaking it, sweeping that liquidity, and then straight away moving up. So multiple scenarios here on WIF. Yeah, this would pretty much be what I'm waiting for upside on the higher time frame in long term. Trend down, take up that liquidity, and if the market is showing strength from there, then I think we can trade up. You give useful information. Keep going, bro. Thank you. No problem, man. I must say, it's the first time I've seen you in the stream. If you are enjoying the stream and you want to be more in touch with me and my community as well, I do have a free Discord that is in the description. Let me also post the link in the chat real quick. And it's an absolutely free Discord. We also have 4 lessons on the way I trade, including market structure, range trading, liquidity, and supply and demand. The 4 cornerstones of my price action strategy. Absolutely free course in the Discord right there. So I would love to see you there. Maybe share your own views on WIF, on Aster. Let me You trade only crypto? No, I do not. We have the Discord as well. We have it for stocks. We have it for the NASDAQ because I do trade NASDAQ with funded accounts. I don't like this song. So no, I trade multiple financial markets and assets. How about you? Have you been trading for a long time? Do you only trade crypto? What are you trading? In the meantime, I'm gonna take a look at Rio because I got an alert on it. Yeah, damn. I mean, this was pretty obvious to me for Rio that we're gonna trade higher because we've broken out now. If we can keep the let's say, let me zoom in. If we can keep this low where we had our last manipulation before the upside, you can also see that this tried to bring you higher, but we hunted liquidity one more time and then we got the move up. So that's what I want to keep for in order to keep that upside momentum on Rio. I'm trading crypto for you over a year. A year, nice man. And how's that been going for you? What's your experience now with trading crypto? Are you a scalper, a day trader, a swing trader? I'm gonna guess you are a swing trader because you asked for a long-term analysis, but I'm not gonna make assumptions. So for Rio, hold this and we can easily move towards all of this liquidity on the highs for sure. You know, it's getting better. I'm a swing trader. Yeah, time will learn. Time will learn, man. And you, I've been trading for a minimum of 4 years now. Not keeping track of it anymore that much, but first 2 years I started trading crypto. After those first 2 years, then I also switched to stocks and NASDAQ. But for crypto and stocks and forex, etc., I use the same strategy. But on the NASDAQ for options trading, I do use a little bit of a different strategy. Let's continue our list on crypto. Ton is weak as fuck, so let's wait for this low to get taken out here. Let's see if we can get that rotation up then, because there is building liquidity here, and if Ton still has something to say, we need to do it from this week. And if we do not do it from this week, we need to do it in this local scenario. Those would be two options for Ton to start seeing some upside momentum. Yeah, but I've been in this game for a while, Nix. But I've just recently started doing YouTube again, maybe a year in total now, but a lot of breaks. Because if I focus more on YouTube and sharing my knowledge, then I'm lacking a bit more in my trading itself. And of course, trading makes more money for me than uploading videos. But I'm enjoying it now, uploading content to YouTube, seeing the positive feedback, the appreciation of people on my analysis, and of course they can also see the result afterwards. Because for example, if I take a look on Aster, with the first video I've made, I pointed out price was right here. We were in this local uptrend. If we manage to hold this demand here, we can just expect new all-time highs. We absolutely nailed it. And this was from my recent video on Aster, this point of interest, and right here. Well, this scenario comes to play. We've never got any confirmation in this area that we're going to go up. So we're going to wait. But PA looks great here. You can see the interaction of this level as well. Demand in combination with support and resistance. If anyone has any other chart requests, then I would be happy to take a look at them. If not, then I'm just gonna go over this list. Okay, link. First thing that just catches my eye is all of this liquidity that's being left open. Means it's most likely not a macro top, and we still can trade towards it. What would we have to hold on link for in order to trade towards that? I see I have yeah, this is a really good support and resistance zone, also around the $20 level, which we are at right now. So we want to see some kind of accumulation in this demand here as well. This brought you to new highs, so we can expect nothing less than that to keep in shape, especially with the high time frame support, the $20 level. So let's see if we can create something locally here. We'll keep an eye on it. SAE. A long time I've bought some spot on that. Not anymore though. I've sold all my spot. I do not have any long-term exposure in crypto at the moment. Just trades I'm taking. Okay, first things first. Why are we keeping price up here? That is because of this block. You can see the bearish candle with the imbalance above it. That means on the lower time frame, this was your last pullback. It started breaking you towards new highs because this was your trend. So really important demand. I think we also don't need to go any lower on SE than this level. If we do, then we are really weak. But for now, it's not looking like we need to go any lower. Looking at this picture, let me get into that. First, let me draw on this beautiful, let me make it a box. By the way, Nix Awaika, how did you come across my channel? Because you asked straight away about Aster. Did you come from an Aster video, Aster short? I'm curious. Yeah, this is great, a great support and resistance. Compared to this old liquidity, your old listing price, you can see the interaction the market is giving. So this would also be a relevant place to look for support. And of course, we're not only going to trade support and resistance, but we want to overlap our confluences to create a good bias. This was your last pullback that brought you new lows. Then we've got that massive move up, causing us to break structure. On the weekly time frame, this brought you to new lows. This is our first higher low that brought us to new highs. We actually made a high time frame change of character here. I saw your Esther short video. Aha. Okay. Hope you enjoyed that little promotion video. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create more traffic towards my channel. So people do see I'm not bullshitting my analysis, because I do the same thing every time, and every time it works as well. But let's continue with this analysis for you. So we've made that change of character. So on the weekly time frame, There's nothing else we can expect than a higher low for another higher high, because that is your trend at the moment. It makes sense that you're getting resistance here. And why is that? I'm gonna tell you why. This brought you to new highs, so you would also have to hold price here for new highs to keep your uptrend, right? And you can also see the reaction. Bulls tried to push up, but we failed doing so. What does that mean? That means sellers stepped in here to push price down on SEI. And that's why we're also getting reaction here, because the people that have shorted here, when price comes back there, you're just gonna get resistance. That's how supply and demand works. The supply at the time was greater here, so the price moved down, and you're gonna get reaction from it. Don't stop, bro. You're doing great. I appreciate it, bro. Don't forget to like the stream and subscribe to my channel so you can keep updated on the videos I upload, the analysis I'm uploading. I would appreciate it, man. So now knowing if we hold this low at, I would say 16 cents, we could still expect that push up. So let me draw in my scenario here. This is what I always do. I draw in these areas instead of just an arrow like this. And why is that? Because I don't preset high time frame pivot points. We are on the 3-day time frame right now. So let's say on the 4-hour, I want this to see happening. Because if you're moving on the 3-day like this, on the 4-hour, you will be moving in that staircase. And if you then get that change of character, we can continue higher, and that's when you have your play. So this is absolutely a great point of interest in combination with that support and resistance level, and that's also at the 20 cents level I see. So would be really nice to hold support there. That would be a level on the high time frame that I would be looking at for swing trades towards new highs. Where are those new highs? The highs we've just created. We are leaving liquidity on those highs, meaning I do not see any market maker signals pushing the price down here, meaning we are leaving this open for later. Now we need, because we're leaving our highs open, we need liquidity from our lows. Where is that liquidity? It can be here. Maybe we can even sweep this and then continue up. It's also another scenario I want to sketch in. Because if the market is moving down, you don't know what is enough liquidity for in order to get your move towards the upside again. That's why you need to wait locally for your confirmations. By the way, Ethereum minus 7.5%. Damn. We're just continuing the downtrend like crazy. I've drawn in this whole box, but I need to draw in this as well. Because on the lower time frame, this is that pullback that brought you towards new highs. So it's pretty much overlapping a bit. Let me make it one box, but it's going to be a big point of interest. So patience is required for one of those boxes. Let me check locally. Was this a range? Arguable. You could say so, but I don't have to draw in a range at the moment, because what we can see is all the build-up liquidity on the lows. It's actually a retail pennant, because you have that trend line upwards and you have the trend line downwards. I don't trade with trend lines, but what I see is liquidity being built up on both sides. So you're consolidating, you're ranging, you're building that liquidity on both sides until you take out one side of the liquidity, and then you can move towards the other side. All of the retail players are massively buying and selling in this shit, but we want to wait for the masses to be stopped out before we enter our trades. We want to trade with the smart money, so we need to wait for smart money to enter the market. And trust me, they're not entering in shit like this. These would be the long scenarios I would be looking at SAE. For short scenarios, yeah, I do not want to look for shorts if we take out this liquidity, because if you wanted to short, you wanted to short towards some good targets, but you don't want to short in support. And we're running through all of this liquidity now. I'm expecting that liquidity to all get taken out. So yeah, I do not want to look for shorts. For sure not. That's SAE, my man. If you have any other charts, then I'm down, you know. Let me also do SUI then. People love SUI. So on the higher time frame, we had this distribution. You have your swing high, your swing low, and you took out your swing high, signaling we could possibly move towards our swing low with all of this liquidity still behind. Because when you just tap into point of interest and you start building all that trend liquidity there, it's not really a strong trend, right? You still need that manipulation in order to get that move up, at least in the long run. So what I want to see here for long scenarios on SUI, I want us to keep building this liquidity, which we have, and to either right now in this POI trade back inside the range and get something like this. That would be a long scenario. And if not, then you are going to take a look at this down here. SUI. Doge, as expected, I absolutely nailed the Doge analysis. Also uploaded a video on that, and I said I just want to trade down from here. As soon as we put in that deviation into our supply here with this market maker model at the highs, I wanted to trade down. There's enough liquidity to take out on the lows. We have grabbed enough on the highs, so we're distributing, and you want to keep following that distribution until it's proven otherwise. Keep playing the lower highs for the lower lows, the lower highs for the lower lows. But we never got a test back in the supply, so this is really aggressive. We could even still get a reaction up from here, test our supply, and then continue down. ENA, also the same thing again, swing high, swing low, take out the swing high. You have a good opportunity to move towards the swing lows. So if we're not going to do it from here, create some sort of accumulation, then yeah, where are we going to go to then? Has this been tested? Let me check. It has not been tested. That creates another long scenario for me. There we go. ENA. And if we do not see any strength, it's literally trading down until it's proven otherwise. Let's go for Solana after. Okay. Solana, how are you looking? Wow. When Solana was trading right here, I expected the same to happen. I was bearish here because you were SFPing the highs and trading back inside the range with bunch of trend liquidity on the lows. And in my opinions, I think the draw liquidity on Solana looks like it's 173 right now. Why is that? Because if you get a retail pennant like this, I've just removed the lines, but a rising wedge is it called, I think. You get the pop up, creating way more stop losses below these lows. Makes it interesting to take all of that out and maybe from this demand zone that's open, continue our trend towards the upside. That we just rejected this supply here is not great. This was the first pullback that sellers stepped in. It was still open, and you also got a liquidity hunt there. It's not looking too great on Solana. I think the crypto market is actually looking pretty bearish for the coming weeks. We flip this demand zone, so it becomes a breaker. This is also where we want to look for shorts. Combination with our supply pool here. Yeah, I just trade towards this level, 100%. Skip the song. In my opinion, because of this bottom on XRP, we do not have to return towards this. And while you have your swing low, your swing high, we can even correct all the way here and still trade upwards. But I just don't like how these stops formed. It's looking bearish. Your supply chaining as well. So it's down until proven otherwise. There's no strength to be seen locally yet. This brought you up. We tested supply. We flipped it. I'm expecting nothing less than a lower high for a lower low on XRP. Bro, what do you think about Fartcoin? Also in a swing position. I think I have a few drawings on Fartcoin. Yes, sir. Fartcoin was for me on the higher time frame, still down until proven otherwise. As you can see, I've drawn in this scenario here because we are in demand right now. This brought you all the way towards new lows. Also the test of this price section right here, and this was the pullback that caused us to gain. So it becomes a demand, fine-tune demand, and your big swing structure demand. So we want to see some kind of reaction from this level. There is liquidity to target with also a supply left open, but we want to see price form here. It's still down until proven otherwise. It's a really aggressive move down, so it's going to be a hard move up as well because you have supply, supply, supply. It's not like there's a bunch of liquidity laying here to make the move up easier. That's not the case. But what do I want to see locally? I want to see some kind of accumulation form. Maybe right now, because we have just hunted this low, we can trade back up again, maybe sweep it one more time, creating our 3-tap liquidity model, and then continuing up. But it's still down until proven otherwise, and I think our invalidation is this low. We do not want to go below 36 cents. We want to hold this whole structure pool for in order to keep expecting that upside. But We have no confirmations of any bullish signals yet. So it's down until proven otherwise. I'm not gonna make it any more hard than it already is now. Yeah, that was Fartcoin. Yeah, we actually nailed this on AVAX, right? Yeah, we did. Yeah, now, you know, another example with those liquidity schematics, those liquidity models at the bottom. Just, it's absolutely crazy. You can literally see when market makers are accumulating orders, filling up their own orders to afterwards push the price up into profits. I'm also gonna stream for a maximum of another 50 minutes because then I've been streaming for an hour. I think that is enough free value for now. Rage, welcome to the stream, brother. Hi, can you check gas after this? Is it completely dead? If I take a look at this gas, I'm gonna answer your question perfectly. You mean grass or gas? Let me know. I think you mean grass, but I'm not sure. Let me know which one of the two. Gas. Okay. So I'm guessing it's a gas pass? If not, then correct me. Oh my. This is the right one, right? Because there's not really on a there's not a normal chart of this. Hello, Aminu. Welcome to the stream, brother. Good to have you here again. Nice to see you. Let me know if this is it, Rach. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's the right one. Okay. Now let's check it out. It's on only 2 exchanges. I think it's also most likely a really low market cap as well. Well, let me just go over it, sure. I want to have this low on my chart. This is our first higher low that we have made when you continue that trend up. I don't like what we did here at the top. We did get that liquidity hunt signaling price can move more down. We also made that change of character here, that lower high, and we continued that trend from there. This is 6 hour, right? Let me check highest time frame first. Daily. The thing is, why did we get such a big bump on gas? You would expect if we first, let me skip this song. Damn. This is okay. You would expect us to take a significant part of liquidity here and then get a move up like this, but we did get a move up after taking that liquidity, but we failed breaking new highs, meaning we got a new lower low. That means, is there something here at the left where price bounced from that it wanted to test so bad for an order to go up? There's an order block. This order block is on the low time frame, your first hold before your expansion up. Okay, then now it makes sense that it just gave us such a big move up. In this move up, we pretty much only have 2 points of interest to look at here. That's this one right here. You can also see it never gave us any reaction up, and well, it gave us a reaction up, but we never broke any structure. We just kept building that liquidity on the highs, meaning we did also not have any triggers to take longs. So we're going to remove this because nothing happened there. Then we also have this start impulse demand, which we are in right now. What I like about this is we're building tons of liquidity. So it's the question of time that we need to take enough liquidity on the lows for an order to take all of this liquidity out. Do we have any triggers yet to? Yeah, I just don't like to trade these charts, you know. Price action is not clean, it's wicky. If I market buy my order right now, then it would be at $1, you know. I don't like those kind of things. I'm kidding, but for now we do not have any confirmation to look for upside yet. So we want to make new lows and then we can try again. So make new lows, then try again. If we fail doing so, we need to make new lows and then we need to try again. If we do get that breakup, then you could play the higher low for the higher high. But these low market cap coins, they're not the best for TA, because I think this maybe doesn't even have 50 million market cap. So that's really, really low. This would be a scenario, but for now it's still down until proven otherwise. If this zone fails, maybe we can get that reaction when we take out this low. If we do not get that change of character that I've been talking about it, then we need to look all the way towards this level. And if we take out that liquidity, then we could maybe see a reaction up. But once again, if we don't, then zero it is. Nope, I'm not gonna listen to this song. It's hard to get a good background music while streaming because everything is copyrighted. So you need to listen to those beats. Rage, no problem, man. But I would advise you, no financial advice, but I would advise you to look at other coins if you are a trader. More higher market cap coins. That's what I want to. That's where I want to take a look at. When are you gonna drop a compiled video on the basics of TA? Yeah, all the price actions combined. I'm gonna show all of you what Amubu means, because we actually do have. Let me put it up on the screen. If you take a look at all of the free education that we have inside of our Discord, you can see we have market structure, supply and demand, liquidity, and range trading. This is literally all of the concept I use to draw in my TA, but these videos are on a basic level. I'm not gonna go into everything too much in depth because I'm not gonna give away my whole golden strategy here for free, right? And what Amumu is asking is this section right here. I'm gonna combine all four of those videos and I'm gonna combine them into one. I'm not gonna explain the concept that I've made, but I'm combining every strategy to draw in scenarios, to take a play. So that is that. I once bought it at the bottom and forgot about it. Well, if you mean the bottom before that big bump, then I hope you have taken some profits off the table. Then let the rest run. But I don't like to be in, me personally, I don't like to be in projects that are down until proven otherwise, as I always say. Because if you're down until proven otherwise, we don't know um, how low we can go. For example, if we take a look at Link here, we have a great POI that we want to see new higher lows for new higher highs from, but you are never going to get that higher low for that higher high, even though it's our expected order flow on the higher time frame. You will never get that rotation if your internal trend stays down. That's why I wait on my high time frame pivot points. I wait for local confirmation. What do I mean by that? I want to wait for this change of character. That means our order flow is now switched and we can expect a higher low for the higher high. That means your high time frame is aligning and your local trends would be aligning. That's when you have a lot of confluences to look in the opposite direction. That's also how you get really high probability trades as well. It's just the execution you have to be sharp on. But most of the time you have a clear invalidation and clear targets. And that's pretty much all you need. Invalidations and targets. So if there's any other requests for any other crypto coins, any other stocks, quickly squeeze at the NASDAQ. So you don't set auto purchases at night. I don't like to, but if I do set auto purchases at night, then I have a stop loss and a target, and it's going to be either one of them. So my invalidation point, for example, if I take a long right here and I'm going to go to sleep, so I'm buying right here, my stop loss would be at the low and my target would be, for example, at this high right here, and then you can just let it sit there and do its thing. So that's what I would do, but how do I formulate that? I think zones above the 50-minute, I'm gonna look locally. If it's like a 15-minute demand, sorry, then I'm down to preset. But everything above that, I do not want to preset. I want to wait for local confirmations. Because I am a day trader. I love to scalp as well, and I'm not not a swing trader. For sure not. For NASDAQ, nothing interesting. Maybe if we can come back here, maybe this level, get the same thing, move towards the upside. I'm not buying in an expansion. Even though you have that trend liquidity, we've left this low open, your last pullback that made you new lows. Strength came from that point. That's what we're gonna test. No upside. Do you think the market could become bearish for a long time? 100%. I mean, any financial market could become bearish for a long time, but looking at crypto, for example, I do think we are down until proven otherwise, is what I always say. Let's take a look at Ethereum. We at Crazy PA here. So if we do trade above all of these highs, we want to see quick expansion. What did we do? We consolidated. what is the end result of this consolidation? Because if you're consolidating, you're building up liquidity. You're building up liquidity on the lows and the highs. And at the side that you are taking liquidity from, that's most of the time that side is going to be protected. So in this case, we have this liquidity model, this market maker sell model pushing us down, and we have made new lows. This is a macro top for me. It took 42 days as well, so yes, this could definitely be a macro top. And like I said, even though we have a point of interest here that could start to bring us up again, we swept the all-time high and then we never returned there. We distributed on the all-time high. How bearish is that? It's really bearish, trust me. But it's the same on every other crypto coin right now. It's as red as it can, but it's down until proven otherwise. A lot of people became bullish because we got this crazy buyback, but that makes sense, right? We have sold for so much, you're gonna get the reaction up, people taking profits. But you never managed to gain even the simplest level on Ethereum, meaning a lower high, new lower lows. What can we expect? Lower high, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, until it's proven otherwise. And for Ethereum, we need to hold this level, in my opinions. Because this is the level that pushed you all the way towards all-time highs. If we lose that level, then I wouldn't say I'm expecting a bear market, but then I don't think I'm expecting Ethereum to do anything crazy the coming months. So that's going to be a must hold on ETH. Bitcoin the same. This is a distribution top. The red arrows are for me market maker sell signals. And Bitcoin is the same. We do have a few point of interest where we could see a reaction from. But then again, we do not want to lose this. We can SFP it, but we do not want to lose it. If we do lose this level, then we are definitely going towards this right here. So it's down until proven otherwise. If we fail to lose this level, then I think we're almost definitely going to go towards 73k. Of course, I don't have a magic ball that tells me the future, but I have been trading price action for 4 years, and I do have a strong bias if that's the case that happens. But again, it's all on local confirmation. Okay, I've been streaming for an hour now, so I am gonna wrap up the stream. I hope that answered your question, Rach. Oh. And for everyone in the stream, I want to thank you for watching. If you have a quick chart request, then you have 1 minute to send the message. And if you're too late, then I'm gonna end the stream. Okay, when will the paid education course be released and how much will it cost? I'm personally not gonna make like a video course. So for example, you pay $100, you get a set of 3 to 4 videos with explanations in there. But what we do have to offer right now in the Discord, we can take a look at that, is VIP access. And if you join the Discord, you can read it as well. I'm not going to read it out loud as of now. If you are interested in those things, you should join the Discord. I've linked it in the live chat, and you can read here what we are offering for our VIP section. And these would be the prices combining to it. And next to the VIP, I am working on one-on-one coaching. It's going to be more of the expensive one, but I'm still working on this. But if you are interested now, you could send me a message and we can work something out. But I am working to create a system on that. For VIP, it's literally my gym membership. It's we've made it extra low because we're still attracting a few people here and there. We have a few VIP members as of now, but we're still building our trading team. So that is that. Hope that clarifies your answers. But then again, you're already gonna come really far with the basic education. But it doesn't get you there, but it gets you far. So I hope that answers your question, Rach. If you have any more questions, let me know. And if not, then I'm gonna end the stream. Well, in my country, a gym membership, it's much cheaper, lol. Well, here in the Netherlands, it is not. Unfortunately, the prices here of everything is pretty high. And what we get paid, for example, if you have a 9 to 5 job, you're almost getting minimum wages. So yeah. Well, Rach, if you are interested and you like the analysis I've just put out and you want to see more of those trading opportunities, like I said, I would love for you to join the Discord. We can spar about charts there together, and we have more traders into the Discord as well. Thanks for the stream anyways. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for tuning in, man. I really appreciate you tuning in. You have the balls to ask questions. So I like you and I would love to see you again in the streams. For now, everyone, thanks for being here. I'm gonna wrap it up and I'll see you all in the Discord. Peace.